Hey everybody, so the way that this reading is going to work is I'm going to pull cards out. Whatever the first zodiac sign is that comes out, that's who the reading is going to be for. If we pull cards and there is not a zodiac sign that comes out, it will be a collective reading. If I do happen to pull a zodiac, I will put the name of the zodiac in the beginning of the title of this reading. We are starting off with strength, so this reading is for Leo placements. Okay, we have strength and we have Eight of Swords. I feel like something can be like maybe testing you mentally a bit here. It can be testing you emotionally, it can be testing your heart, but it can also be bringing up like some type of anxiety. Maybe there's something that you feel like you're not totally ready for. Maybe there's like something cooking. I feel potentially like this could be released, meaning maybe you are ready to say something, maybe you are ready to take action, maybe you've been thinking about this long enough and something can happen here, but it can be something that like brings up a lot of different feelings for you, and you can be in a spot where you're like, maybe it's just better if I stay here for a little bit. I don't feel like I'm totally ready. On the bottom of the deck, I'm seeing Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is the part of us that's going to go after what we want, to take a bold approach, to not hold ourselves back. So there might be something here that you actually want to go for, and you're being encouraged to do that, to really like follow your own lead, for you to follow your heart, especially with strength, to do something, to make the move, to be bold, to be courageous, and to say, you can be feeling the Eight of Swords, which is when we can be feeling like a little bit stuck. You can experience that, and you can still choose to follow your heart here. You can have both of these things going on. Whatever it is, don't hold yourself back. That is the encouragement from these cards. Okay, you can be feeling nervous about some plan, like something that you're thinking about. I don't know if this is a plan where things have been officially laid out, or this is more so something that you're planning to do, something that you're figuring out, like, which way do I go with this? There may be some pieces that are aligning a bit here. Ooh, this is a big plan. Okay, so this is something significant. This is something important here. We have Two of Wands and we have the Emperor. So what this means is that you're in a spot where you have different options going on here. With the Emperor, you want to be thinking in more like long-term terms. You want to be thinking about what's sustainable, what you're going to feel happy with more long-term. So it's not just about what's good or what's easy right now, or what you'll feel happy with in this moment, or what will feel satisfying in this moment, but more so like, will you stay feeling that way? Is that what you're choosing here? I feel like this is a moment where life can take two very different directions, two very different paths, and you get to choose which one you're going to be taking here. One thing may be easier to do. One thing may be a more difficult thing to do. If you choose what may be an easier thing to do, you can be ignoring an aspect of yourself that feels important. If you choose what may momentarily be more difficult, it can simultaneously be the thing where you really honor yourself. So that can be why this feels difficult with strength. It can be something where you're like, I'm nervous about doing this, or what's going to happen, or you can be thinking about it. You can feel kind of stuck a little bit, but this feels more so like you're actually ready to do this. You're ready to take charge. You're ready to move forward with things. This is for the long game. So you're not just thinking about right now immediately. You're thinking about where things are going to lead depending on the path that you pick. And if that is something ultimately that once the path develops, you will feel happy that you chose. Or are you going to choose something that may possibly be a little bit more convenient now, maybe a little bit less challenging, but you don't feel happy with it at the end of the day? And you have the choice here of what to do. I feel like you know the best thing for you to do for yourself here, but there can be a part of you that doesn't want to do this. There can be a part of you that's like, I don't know, maybe you think that you can feel like you're not strong enough to do it. You can feel like, I don't know if I have the courage within me. There can be a part of you that's like, I just want to break, or I just don't want to have to deal with this, or I don't want to have to be responsible for this, or I don't want to be responsible for building my life in this way. It can be something where you feel like, I don't know, maybe you feel like you have so many choices to make with the Emperor connected with Four of Cups. This can be, so the Emperor is connected with Aries. Aries is about our 2 cents when it comes to us, when it comes to our lives, the decisions that we're making, our preferences, what we really want. I'm seeing something with the Eight of Swords that feels like the wind swaying it in a certain direction. So with the Emperor, with that energy of Aries, Aries is about us looking in a situation, not needing to look at other people and look around, but to really tap into your instinct, and from a very honest, authentic place within yourself, you do what feels right for you. And it doesn't matter what this may be asking of you, you know the path to take for yourself, and you know what truly honors your authenticity. It's an honoring of the self for you to move in that direction. Having Four of Cups can be this part of you that's like, I don't want to have to decide. I don't want to have to be responsible. I don't want to have to make choices that then I'm going to have to be dealing with here. So there can be a part of you that just wants to disengage from this entirely, because the pressure can really be on now at this point. So even though you really can do something here, there can be a part of you that like maybe wants to backtrack a little bit. And it can be taking everything within you not to do that. I will say with Strength too, I get this feeling, this sentiment from the essence of Strength of, I know what's in my heart and I know what I need to do in order to be true to myself. It's just a difficult thing to do within this circumstance. And it's something that I don't really prefer to have to deal with this, or I don't really prefer to have to be doing this right now, or I feel like this is really asking a lot of me. At the same time, I have this choice of honoring what feels true for me or backing away. But I do feel like some very important self-knowledge is here. Like this can be some like very major awareness. I'm seeing Two of Swords wanting to come out, but then going back in the deck. So this can be something where you're like, maybe still a little bit undecided, but I don't really get that. I feel like we can just quantify this very simply. There's one way that feels like the right way for you to be going. It feels like there may be another option that you have to go a different way, but you can feel like you're not showing up for yourself and not showing up truly for how you feel if you were to do that. So you can do something that may be feeling a bit challenging, but you feel as well like it's really honoring your soul here, versus another path that may be the easier thing, but you may not feel like it helps you sleep at night if you were to choose that direction. And I do feel like this is a crossroads at this point. And having the Emperor, I feel like this is actually a major crossroads. I really do feel at this point there's something about gravity being here. And I do feel like your life is going to sort of like split at this point, where it looks like you can take one road and you have the option to take another, and depending on what you pick, life is going to look a bit different. And so I do feel like this is one of those more weighted choices. And that can also be part of the reason why you're like, I don't want to have to deal with this, because you may know that this is simultaneously imminent and also weighted. So whatever you choose, it's going to pack a punch and really hold influence within your life, because we have the Emperor here. So this is a big deal. Emperor is about these, like the bricks that we put down within our life. So this is not something where you choose and you can easily like take that back. It's kind of like I see Emperor in a way as being like concrete that's going to be setting. Once that's set, it's not the easiest to really disrupt or dismantle that. Like, you're laying something here. And so this feels kind of like, I don't know, maybe a bit more permanent depending on what you were to do here. And that may be something that freaks you out a little bit here, because you recognize the longevity, that this is a choice that is going to stick with you for quite some time. That doesn't mean like always and forever that you're always going to be dealing with this, but it can be something that's like really important. And I'm seeing your guides urge you not to take this lightly and to really think about this, and not just in the here and now, not just what's easy now, but what you will really feel good with at the end of the day. I'm seeing something too about making the choice that nurtures your vision, that nurtures yourself with like maybe who you're understanding yourself to be as you're peeling back the layers. Maybe this is like, do I want to peel back this layer, or do I want to keep up with some type of facade? Maybe there can be something like that that's going on here. Are you going to enrich the soil with this choice, or is it something that is going to be maybe detrimental to what it is that you're growing? I'm seeing that Two of Swords wanting to come out again, but then going back in. I want to say, like, I don't really feel like you're undecided here. I feel like you know what to do. It's just difficult. Yeah, you can be like trying to run away from yourself a little bit, but it's nothing that you can outrun. And for some of you too, maybe there's something going on with another person here that's involved in this as well. Like, maybe there's a relationship choice that you're at a crossroads with too. Either way, it's going to be a choice that you're making here. I feel like you have to choose the thing that's going to align with you being in a place of integrity with yourself. I'm getting this notion of Braveheart, looking at strength. I think that that's a movie. I don't know what that's about, but this feels like something here, like challenging. With the Four of Cups and the Two of Cups, you can be at a place with yourself that maybe you want to back away from. It kind of feels like knowing this part of yourself, like this has come up and this has become relevant for you and maybe quite obvious, like getting to know this part of yourself. But it can be something that's asking something big of you, requiring something big of you. And there can be a part of you that does want to get away from this a little bit, even just temporarily. It's like you're having conversation with yourself, and this part of you is like, yep, this is something that we need to do here. And there can be a part of you that's like, oh, this is like such a major thing that you're asking of me, but it's like you asking it of yourself. And it's like you have the choice here. Are you going to abandon yourself here? Or are you going to make a choice where you feel together with yourself? Are you going to make a choice that splits you apart? Or go down a path that keeps you disconnected from yourself? Or are you going to move in the direction where you have that honesty and that pureness within your relationship and that alignment with yourself? And for some of you, there can be a relationship that's involved in this decision. Some of you, maybe more than one relationship even. Seeing all of the twos coming out. But I feel at the end of the day, it's asking you to honor your relationship with yourself, and that's ultimately the choice here. So to do that or to not do that. This can be something that is very, I'm seeing 1444 on the time looking up. This can be something that is extremely challenging for your solar plexus and your heart chakra. This may, I don't know if this is going to sound foreign or not to some of you, So your solar plexus is connected with the color yellow. Your heart is connected with the color green. If you want to strengthen these energies and you're feeling like something's going on with them and you want to nurture them, so strength is connected with, part of it is connected with the solar plexus, which is connected with yellow. Strength is also connected with the sun. Make sure that you are getting yellow light. Like, actually, it's instead of getting like a blue or colder light, if you're around something like sunlight or an amber light or a yellow light, this can be something that helps you connect with your solar plexus. Also, eating foods that are yellow can be helpful. And same goes for green. If you're doing anything that's connected with plants, this is something that can be helpful to you. Music for the heart chakra. Doing things that are loving for yourself, taking care of yourself. And green foods as well can be helpful. Even just like having some, like a totem that's green or a crystal that's green. These are things that can like subliminally, subconsciously, this is stuff that can feed into those chakras and create like more of a sense of resiliency there, and can strengthen your willingness and your heart and can help you with this. So if that's something that you gravitate towards the ideas of, you can also meditate on those colors too. Like you can conjure that with your third eye and you can meditate on it, and it doesn't need to be for a long time, or you can like look at those colors and you can close your eyes or just like hold something that is those colors. And that can be helpful in doing this. It can be something that strengthens you. When I'm thinking about foods that are certain color, I'm seeing different types of fruits. Doesn't have to be, but like the more organic it is, the better, the more potent that energy is. Especially too because the sun feeds the plants, and so that's going to be integrated into the chemistry of it. So the next card that we have out here is Judgment, which I feel, seeing it be connected with Two of Wands, this is really looking at the different paths that you have in front of you, recognizing the weight here, recognizing, the weight of the choice that you have here and what one path means versus what another path means, and like truly looking at this, because when we have Judgment, this is like, it's not the time to gloss something over. When we have Judgment, it's not the time to just like frivolously make a choice. It's not the time to, it's the time to check in with what's motivating you. It's the time to look closely. It's the time to see through anything that you may not be seeing. And it can be a time where you really have this heart to heart with yourself. And even though there may be something here that you're being encouraged to do, you can even be looking into like why you feel like you may want to run away from this, or why you may not feel super enthusiastic about this if this is the right thing for you to be doing. I want to say this too. So we have Judgment coming out and we have Five of Cups on the bottom of the deck. Something that can be coloring this choice for you right now is like a sadness about something. It can mean like if you're making the right choice for yourself, there may be something that you have to come to terms with. There may be something that you're perceiving to be losing. There may be a process of grieving that's involved in this. There may be some type of disappointment. There may be something that you're resisting. This can be something where like the truth is being laid out for you and you can have a hard time digesting that. If that's the case, when we are dealing with something that like spiritually and emotionally and psychologically, we can be having trouble digesting, you can actually feel issues with your digestion. You can feel stuff coming up, or you can feel in your stomach unsettled. So there can be stuff working around there that you feel going on here, where you know something is like not fully processing. So yeah, back to just seeing that Five of Cups on the bottom of the deck, I feel like it feels obvious what the right choice is for you to be making. But if you were to do that, it can mean that you have to come to terms with something that can feel painful to come to terms with. It can feel difficult to come to terms with. And there can be a part of you that doesn't want to right now. And that can be why you feel not motivated to go through with this and to make this choice. I'm hearing it's for the rest of your life. Choose something that you're going to feel happy with. Choose something that you're going to be happy to be on that path. That is what your heart wants. Move in that direction. That's the encouragement. You want to be making a choice that feels like it really is aligned with your solar plexus and your heart chakra. And they will be on the same page too. You want to honor how you're really feeling. You want to honor your soul through the choices that you're making, because that's how you feel like you're in alignment. Even if it's something challenging that needs to be done here, even if it's something that you may want to avoid. It just feels like the clock is ticking now at this point, and this is going to be the beginning of the rest of your life. Having the Emperor and having Page of Wands is about making this choice because you're going to be on this path for a while. So which path do you want to be on? And it may be difficult to answer this calling, because when we have Page of Wands, I see it like you do feel attracted to something. You do feel drawn to a particular path. And even though there may be something challenging about you getting on that path, like, are you willing to make the choices that will bring you there? Because it's not calling you for no reason. And it's something that comes from a very pure space within you. So will you follow your intuition and make that choice, or is it something that you will deny? And that's what it comes down to. So we have Leo and we have Aries here. Leo really is about your ability to self-govern, and so is Aries, both of those. What you really feel is right for you on a personal level, and what you truly feel within your heart, and to be bold and courageous and to honor that. And to guide yourself through this process. And having Pluto is about dismantling anything that would be clouding your vision from seeing the truth here, especially emotional stuff, especially psychological stuff that could blur your vision here and won't give you a clear answer. So this is something that does mean to bring you clarity, to show you that there's really only one right choice for you to be making here. There aren't multiple ones. And so that's what judgment is about, to show you that. So it may have appeared at first like there were different options you had here, but when you get down to it, there's really only one right way for you to be going. And you know which way that is. I feel too, like this Four of Cups and the Emperor, I get a strong energy from this. This really can be that point where it's like, you have to take responsibility for your life. Like you have to take responsibility for you, for the things that you want, for the things that you don't want, for the life that you're living. And you can choose a life that is worth living, something that you feel happy with what you're building, and you feel satisfied and you feel content and you feel at peace with those choices. Or it can be something where I don't really get there being an or. I just feel like you're learning how to become the Emperor, essentially. You're connecting with your masculine energy here, which is your ability to initiate what needs to be initiated, and to also take responsibility for the choices that you're making too. And to ask yourself, like, whether you can live with that or not. And not only, it's not just like, can you survive? Like we were seeing the Ten of Cups come out. Like, what will you actually feel satisfied with? What will you feel like is your pursuit of happiness? What will you actually at the end of the day be like, when I put my head on my pillow, I feel truly at peace with the choices that I have made, even though they've been difficult sometimes. And what's that for you? And that is your answer. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.